Hi guys, welcome back to Silly Tarot. It's great to have you all here with me again. I've missed you guys. I've actually held off from posting for a little while because my personal life got super busy, among which I have gotten the opportunity to do tarot at a couple of local events recently. So that's kind of why I've been gone for a little while longer than I expected to. I've still been doing tarot, just a lot more in person for people. So yeah, but I'm back, and today we're going to be doing another collective reading, as we do. And I pulled a couple cards to start, just to see what the general vibe was, and it we have something very interesting going on. So, and forgive me if I seem a little awkward. I haven't been in front of a camera in weeks. But I am also going to be showcasing a brand new deck. I've had it for a couple weeks. It's brand new to you guys, though. This is the Phantom Tarot, and we're going to be using that today. We're also going to be using the Urban Crow Oracle, because that's what I'm feeling today. So, the cards that came out when I was looking to get a general theme on the reading was the Nine of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Death card in reverse. I will show those all to you here, because if nothing else, I love to show off art. And immediately, I immediately was getting this vibe that someone came into your life and regrets very much the way that they approached you. Someone showed up and kind of did not respect your boundaries from the start. And they tried to kind of cover it up with this sort of Knight of Cups persona, this kind of very caring, I'm here to care about you, just very very, I don't know how to phrase it, just right off the bat, and with this Nine of Swords here, there's some regret about how they came forward because it wasn't genuine. And when I saw this Death card came out reversed, I picked up the whole deck upside down, and Death came out, and what crossed my mind was the phrase, they weren't telling the truth because they were fighting death. And I then pulled the Influence card from the Crow Oracle deck. So this person that came into your life, you are able to tell that they are not actually a true Knight of Cups because you can see their influence in your life. And you can see that the influence that they're having on you is not one that is positive. So, if this sounds like it is resonating with a situation that you are experiencing, we're going to get into it. I did not give a proper introduction, and I realized that. So, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, as we all say. If it doesn't make sense for you, it's not for you, and that's fine. Come back later. I love you regardless. Anyway, if it does sound like it's for you, we're going to talk about it. So, with all that being said, let's get a few cards on what this energy is that we're picking up on here. What other information can we get on this topic, Spirit? One more? Alright, that's the one. Okay, we have the Two of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. So, Two of Swords is, it always makes me think of someone who's either listening to their intuition very strongly and is very strongly connected to it, or they're ignoring it completely. And the Seven of Cups coming right after, being about illusions, is really making me think that it's this very, because, the blindfold can kind of be interpreted depending on the way that you're looking at it. You can either think of the blindfold as, well, your eyes are shut, you're blind, but this is also a very, material world way of thinking about it. You can also think of it as the physical eyes are shut, so the third eye is open, so you're open to your intuition. In this case, Seven of Cups, illusion, the person that you're dealing with is showing up in your life the way that they're showing up because they are, not that they don't have intuition, they are ignoring their intuition. They're ignoring their intuition because what they want is what we all want. It's this Ten of Cups. But the problem here seems to be that they feel like you are the source of this Ten of Cups, is what is coming to me right now. And can we get a card to confirm that? What's going on with the Ten of Cups, please? That's the card. The Two of Pentacles. This one's also really jumping out at me. Two of Pentacles here. And, yeah, and the Six of Cups. So they're seeing you as this sort of juggler, right? Like, you see how it's so colorful and it's so vibrant and there's so much life in this figure, they're literally creating, they have one pentacle and they've already mitosis, it's two now, and they're just, right? So that's how they're seeing you, as this wonderful creative person. And they think that the way for them to get this Ten of Cups is by just sort of sharing in your creativity that you're doing, which on its own is not a bad thing, but where is theirs, So, with that being said, the reason why the intuition is being ignored is entirely in favor of these kind of Seven of Cups illusions, of, and I'm even seeing if you look down here at the bottom, you kind of see this little figure kind of staring wistfully up at the cups, It's they would rather sit and daydream about the fantasy that they wish to achieve than actually listen to their intuition about how to reliably make this happen in a way that is what? Give me cards. Okay, that's a lot of cards. That is Ace of Pentacles, the World, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, well, yeah, that's, don't think I could say anything better than that. Hold them up really close because these are some of the most beautiful cards in the deck. Like the Queen, I love her. To have this, the World, you've closed your cycles, you've come full circle, you are in a place where, I want to say you're in a place where you don't have to worry that the thing that you manifested and brought into your life is going to just crumble and fall away because of some kind of karmic thing that you got going on, Because a lot of the times when we're in the midst of first trying to bring something new into our life, we can experience that where we've almost got it, and then a place in our life where we still tend to be self-destructive likes to come right up and snap it up, and it pulls the opportunity out right from underneath us. A lot of us experience this. It happens all the time, and you realize, okay, this is another obstacle that I still have to work through in order to properly bring that thing into my life, in a way that's sustainable. Common, right? The World is a situation in which you don't have to worry about that, you know? You've already come full circle, you know? You've already reached this pivotal point, you know, where you are able to sustain everything, because there's no doubt happening here. You know, you have I got so distracted by the world that I almost forgot what we were talking about was the way to properly have these things instead of just excuse me. Instead of this Seven of Cups energy where you are manifesting it purely from your own kind of delusions of grandeur, you know? This ace and this queen, you know, I'm almost seeing this ace as like the seed of the manifestation, and the seed contains the everything that the queen has, you know? Like, you plant the seed, the world came out second, and then you become her, you know? Fully, you know? This is what could be aimed for. Were this person to be listening to themselves. Okay? I'm gonna ask for an oracle card. Okay, well, the deck is already upside down to mischief, so let's get another one though. This reading is coming out very particularly. That's many cards. That's 2 cards. Okay, well, isolation and illusion. So, to me, these cards go hand in hand. When you are isolated, this is all the same energy, okay? When you are in isolation with your own illusions, it results in this 7 of Cups, okay? Because there's no one and no thing to sort of break you out of this endless self loop of your own illusion, delusion, etc., so on, okay? That's why this mischief is happening. This mischief force is that 7 of Cups out in the world, okay? This is a progression. So, this mischief force is the result of that unchecked 7 of Cups spilling out into the world by this person, okay, that's in your life. Yeah, upheaval on the bottom of the deck. That's what they're causing. Is like, you see the nests are literally getting thrown out of the tree and there's tumbleweeds and all kinds of crazy shit. Okay, yeah. So, let's get some more cards on this. And if I seem like a little amped doing this, that's the energy that I'm getting off of these cards. It's very amped up. Like, there's like this sense of like almost like the feeling that I'm getting is like this sense of being like fed up, just this irritation. That's what I'm reading off of this whole thing. Like, that the collective that I'm reading for is sick of it, whatever this is. Ooh, there's a card that's flipped upside down, and yeah, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups and what else? Before I speak on that. Ace of Cups, 5 of Cups, and the Chariot. Okay. So, yeah, okay, this is why the collective is fed up. I see it. So, the collective here is fed up because this Ace of Cups is everything that you know that you could have, should have, will have, you know, by not dealing with this particular kind of energy, you know, with just not allowing a 7 of Cups energy to spill all over what you're trying to do, you know? This Ace of Cups is what you're aiming for, you know? Is this... I want to say it's like a... it's almost like it's all of your emotional resources that are not being just lost by, okay, here's how I can explain this. So all 7 of those cups are filled with illusions. We are like mirrors. When someone spills their emotions, we are going to feel our corresponding emotions. So, like we always mirror each other, when people elicit something, it brings it out in us. When someone is spilling all 7 of those cups all the time around you, you know what's happening to your Ace of Cups, your wellspring of emotional resources that you have? You are losing it. You are spilling out bits of your liquid every single time because you're matching the 7 of Cups energy. Because that's what illusion does. That's what it elicits. It draws that emotion out of you. Okay? It's like energy fishing is what I call it. Okay? That 7 of Cups is causing you to spill something that you would not otherwise be spilling because you know how valuable it is, because it's an ace, okay? You know how much your energy is worth. But you are still feeling this sad 5 of Cups energy, okay? Like, I have all my cups, like, stacked. Why do I still feel empty? Or why do I still feel like it's not working? Or why do I feel like I'm dropping the chariot now. Why do I feel like I can't move on, is what I'm sensing, Sorry, I'm just moving the chariot across the screen now. But, with the chariot there, it's really like, why can't I move on? I could move on. I could have this ace. I do have it. I should have it rightfully. Like, where's my ace if I have it so much, Why do I still feel like the 5? Why can't I move on? Okay? That's why the collective is pissed off about this. That's why I'm getting this, like, irritation energy off of the cards, like, very consistently. It's that. What? Okay, card just flipped over. 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords and... give me a Crow card. What is the message from the 6 of Swords? Okay. So we have caching that fell out of my hand, and then grief and upheaval that fell out of my lap. So here's caching. Here's upheaval, like before, and then grief. And I am wanting... I actually want one more tarot card, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, well, I picked up every single card except for this one on the bottom, the Strength card. So that will be our card. So, what I am getting from these cards here. So, 6 of Swords is always my big card for kind of like divine guidance. It's like my favorite deck, or my favorite 6 of Swords cards in one of my decks is in my alchemy deck, and it has a boat sailing on the water with this sort of like face in the clouds that's blowing wind into the sails. It's my favorite version of my 6 of Swords that I have. And so with the Strength card here, not to get off topic, with the Strength card here, I'm getting this sense that it has taken a while to kind of build up this sense of being ready to listen to yourself about this situation. And there's this sense of like having been caching information about what's going on with this other person, with this other situation that you're dealing with this energy, that, there's been a kind of like taking note and like a sort of like, I'm also even thinking like taking note of what the other person takes note of might be something for someone, okay? And that the reason why there's been such a sort of like progressive thing where maybe I'm really feeling that somebody was not quite ready up until like now, up till recently, you know? Like it took a while to sort of build up this strength to even be in the energy to listen to your own internal guidance, because we already talked about how the other person is refusing to listen to theirs. But I'm really getting the sense of like it's just it took a while because of these two energies here, upheaval and grief. Okay, these are the energies that because of your intuition, you know that dealing with this whole situation is going to cause these, you know, and that's hard to accept. It's often very hard to accept that those things are going to happen, that those things are going to be something you experience or you see other people experience or you feel responsible for in some sense because of your need to sort of like say, I'm not a part of this energy that we're sort of reading about, or something like that, you know? That's not an easy energy to be in. What advice can we get on that, Spirit? For this collective that's experiencing this. Oh. Okay, King of Cups. And okay. King of Cups. 5 of Wands. For the advice, one more card for the advice. King of Cups and 5 of Wands. Come on, give me one more. There we go. Oh, that's reverse. 4 of Swords. And as I did that, 2 pages fell into my lap. That's Swords and Wands. Okay, we're gonna deal with the pages in a minute. So, first off, for advice. King of Cups, 5 of Wands. Oh, this is a 10 of Swords. I can't read. And the 10 of... ironic for a tarot reader. I know. 10 of Wands in reverse. So, what I want to say is you can put a stop to this. This King of Cups here, is really reminding me of that ace that we had before. The King of Cups is someone who is secure in his own, not just his own emotional resources, in the sense that he's secure in his ability to deal with the situation, to deal with it both with his heart and with his mind, you know, with those two things in perfect cohesion, you know. But that he's able to trust himself that he will be able to do something in a way that it doesn't throw him into an imbalance, because he understands his emotions, his different emotional states that things are likely to elicit within him. He understands how to be honest with himself about his emotions, how to integrate his emotions when they come up. He understands how to work with his emotions when need be. You know, he's not a stranger to them, you know. He is fully able to work with this type of energy, you know. And because of this is why he's able to sort of put a stop to this 5 of Wands energy, because that's really how I'm reading it, especially with this 10 of Wands in reverse, or Swords, sorry, in reverse, is that there's this need to just like put it to rest already, because this king's knowledge is what enables him, you know, this emotional depth that he carries is what is enabling him to be able to put an end to something that just needs to be put an end to, and that cannot keep going on, okay? Right in the beginning of the reading, we had that phrase, like, someone is fighting death, okay? That's here, okay? Someone has been fighting a Ten of Swords, okay? And I don't think it's a coincidence that I said wands before by accident. Ten of Wands is a big, heavy burden. Okay, someone has been feeling that they're carrying a big, heavy burden because they're trying to fight off this death, this inevitable change in their perception. And that perception is going to take us back to that Seven of Cups, our star of the whole reading, okay? That perception there, all of that illusion that's happening in there, all of that, the illusion, the mischief, the influence, all of this happening because of the isolation, okay? No more. Illusions formed in isolation have nothing to do with how the world outside of you actually works. Okay? Dealing with a version of someone in your head is not the same thing as dealing with them actually, without your illusions in place, This is, very, very clear. And then those pages fell out, the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. Let me get one more card on those. Pages are like the most naive out of the court cards. And the Wheel of Fortune when Justice on the bottom. That's what I want to see. Yeah. So, the interesting thing about two pages coming out is that what I'm immediately reading off of this is that there are probably people who have underestimated your ability to take care of things like this in the way that you are capable of doing and are most likely already going to do, or maybe even have done, depending on where you are on this timeline, okay? People may have some ideas about you that you are naive, or that you are maybe they think you're a little emotionally unstable, and that you are not able to rationally and sort of sanely, that's not really the word I'm looking for, almost like without throwing yourself massively emotionally off balance. Like, they don't necessarily think that you are capable of this just because they think you're a page, Nothing wrong with being a page, just a page is a page, Page is new to things, Page doesn't always have total grasp on things. Some people still think you're a page. They don't know you have a sword. They don't know that you can see. They're not aware of your ability to end cycles in the way that you are about to do or are capable of doing in this situation, because a Wheel of Fortune is a karmic cycle that's going around and around and around and running itself into the ground until it, until it doesn't outrun death anymore. It becomes it. The Justice card is putting an end to it. The Justice card is you cutting it where it needs to be cut. Okay? And if you're here listening to this, I'm feeling that you may already know what that is. Protection. And you can feel safe in that you are protected from negative, from the almost, I like that words. Let's see what cards just fell out. That's all the cards. Let's see. Risk, observation, and release. Yeah, okay. So, you might feel that there is some kind of risk, okay? Because you feel like you are being watched, okay? Very likely by the person in the situation that we're feeling out, where the same one who's bringing this energy into your life, you may feel as though they are watching you in order to see how you're gonna take it, how you're gonna handle it, what exactly is going to go down. You might feel as if there are other parties who are doing the same thing, you know? And you may fear the aftermath of what will happen if you are to be honest and true to yourself and put your foot down and put a stop to the chaos that you feel and see going on around you from those illusions that were being projected in the Seven of Cups, if we haven't referenced it enough. You have protection. This is not your tower. You are observing it, just like you are being observed, but this is not your tower. The last card that came out was release. You can let go of that burden, okay? You see how there's both kind of that like shape down at the bottom, like something is being protected, you know, and now there's the bird is in the middle, is being protected. And then once the bird realizes that he's in this protective circle, you know, can sort of like fly away and release this stress and this maybe even sense of guilt, perhaps, for the fact that a tower is occurring at all. Let's get one more card on why the collective can sort of like rest easy on this. Nature. I lied, I want another card. One more card, please. Thank you. Nature and abundance. Yeah, that's beautiful. So, it's the abundance that you feel that you are going to lose by being true to your nature it is almost laughable as I'm saying it. To have that abundance is already in your nature, because that's how you got it in the first place. Because you attracted it. Because of who you are, because of how you are, because of the work that you have done on yourself that makes people want to be around you. Okay? That has made you a more interesting person, a more kind and caring person, a person who is more understanding, maybe more tolerant, you know, etc., 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 so on and so forth, okay? That is in your nature because it is the work that you have done, that you have integrated into yourself. It's not going to go anywhere just because a tower falls. Especially a tower that isn't yours. It's just not, that's not how that shit works. Okay, closing tarot card. That was so loud. Give me one. There's cards falling in odd directions. One card. One card. Spirit. I'm pulling this one. Queen of Cups. This is you when you accept that you don't need to feel guilty for the fact that you have feelings about the situation or that anyone else does either. That's what we do. We're people. We have feelings about things, okay? The difference is that sometimes we as people can be really accepting of the fact that we have feelings, and we can work with that, and we can understand it, and we can come to treat those feelings as a friend, as things are trying to teach us things, as maybe intuitive nudges that tell us information, you know? Or we can choose to feel like shit about the fact that we have feelings and to beat ourselves down over this fact and create illusions about this that spill out into our reality because we isolate ourselves with our illusions, you know? Could do either one. We are capable of both. But to be the Queen of Cups here, gotta do the first one. So, I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. I certainly did not expect the message to go like this, but it's a message that came through. So I hope if you needed the message, you got it, and I hope you do with it what you need to do with it. Anyways, if you would like to contact me for a personal reading, my socials will be linked, or my Instagram will be linked in the bio, in the description. It'll be linked. You can DM me. We will make it happen. And if you are someone who knows me in person or knows me from an event and is local to me, be sure to keep up with me on my socials to see when I'll be doing other events, because those will be coming soon. So, I love you all, and I'll see you when I see you. Have a good one.